Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're working on a 2011 Ford Fusion. We're going to be doing front brakes on it, pads and rotors. First thing you're going to want to do, jack your car up, get some jack stands under it, and get the wheel off. If you don't have an impact, break those lug nuts free on the ground before you jack the car up. Alright, once you have your wheel off, first thing we're going to do is you got two T40 bolts here holding the rotor on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a screwdriver in here to hold that rotor still. Then I'm going to take a hammer. I'm going to give them a couple taps. Just careful not to hit the studs. Pull those out. Careful not to strip those out. It can make it a big pain in the future to get them off. Well, not in the future, but to continue to get them off. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to get these slide pin bolts out. These are a 14 millimeter. Loosen those up. Should spin out pretty freely once you loosen them. Then we're going to lift the caliper off. Set that aside. Next thing is we got these two 15 millimeter caliper bracket bolts. I'm going to go ahead and zip those off. Gotta turn the wheel here. Lucky for me, the rotor came free immediately. Get these pads out. Get the old hardware out of here. Now we're going to get our new rotors and get them cleaned up. Alright, we got our new rotor. Slip it on here. Take some brake clean. I like to put it on backwards and then clean the back of it. And then just flip it around. Remember, if you're going to reuse those screws holding the rotor on, line up those holes. Clean it, get all that oil off from the factory. I am going to reuse these screws just because it makes it easier to get the caliper bracket and stuff on. I'm only going to put one in though. And then we're going to take our bracket and we're going to clean it off. Going to take a wire brush, especially because these ones are not very rusty. You're not really going to take much cleaning. That's good enough. Just want to make sure that your new hardware sits nice and flat. Get these bolts started, your bracket bolts, which were 15s. Gotta turn the wheel again. Get our new pads. On some cars, the inner and the outer pad are different, so I always like to inspect at least 3 of the pads. And these all look the same. So we're going to get our new hardware going. There we go. Now we'll slide our new pads into place. All right. Once you got your pads in, can be a pain with these clips. You got these. These are springs, and they got little holes on the top of the pads. And you gotta stick these in here. Just like that. You may see how it's doing that. You push my pad out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this pad back in. And I'm gonna compress my caliper piston first. And then as I'm putting my caliper on, then I'm gonna put those clips in. So I'm going to take my caliper compressor and an old pad. But before I go and put the caliper on, I want to grease up these slide pins. These ones are still in good shape, moving freely and everything. Don't want to over grease these. You want to make sure they got enough grease to make it to the next change though. So now that I got my slide pins greased, my caliper compressed, I'm going to go ahead and stick these clips back in. And I'm going to hold the pads together with my hand. Now I got those in. Now I'm going to take my caliper, slide it over top. Like that. Then you can get your slide pin bolts started. Sometimes you'll have to hold the slide pin still. Get them both snugged and then tighten them down. All right. Now that that's done, spin your rotor. Make sure you're not getting any metal to metal sound from your hardware. And that's all set. Do the other side and then make sure you pump your brake pedal up before you try and drive it. Give it about half pumps until you get brake pedal pressure back. And then you should be good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my content, please like and subscribe.